If you remember, yesterday, some of you might have attended this session. I went live on YouTube like this, and we discussed a lot about the B schools, right? Which forms to fill, which exams to appear for, how much budget to have, and all sorts of things related to form filling queries. So yesterday we did this session. In case any of you have missed it, you can search it out on YouTube, or I can ask. One of my teammates will shortly put it up in the chat also. All right. And now in that session, I promised you today I will come up with this another session, which is last lab to NMAT 2023. Now, why this session? Someone in the chat I saw also asked this. What is this all about? Well, as the name suggests, it is the last lab to NMAT 2023, which means we are going to discuss the last minute prep, last minute strategies, and other queries and questions you might have about NMAT. That is the plan. All right, that is the agenda for today. So a quick, I think it's not a big session, right? So stay with me till the end, and I'll be able to cover every query that you have regarding NMAT. I've tried to preempt all these queries. Okay, so let's begin with this immediately. Okay, so last lap to NMAT, that is me, Sazil Shah. I am your mentor for the day. Let's go into the details of NMAT. Okay, so the registration is still on in case some of you have not filled up the NMAT forms. Please make sure you fill up. Yesterday I had said this, and I will reiterate the point that there are 4 important exams that everyone, any MBA aspirant must appear for, in terms of diversification of risk, in terms of having more options, right? And these 4 exams are CAT, ZAT, NMAT, and SNAP. ZAT because XLRI Jamshedpur accepts ZAT, and many other colleges like XIM Bhubaneswar, Liba, GIM, etc. They accept ZAT. NMAT because a lot of colleges now, since GMAT took over the conduction of NMAT exam, right? They have it's a bigger plan. So it's a plan where they want to connect with a lot of colleges of India and global B schools as well, through that NMAT exam. So that increases your probability of getting into colleges. Some of them are good colleges. So I will also tell you which are those good colleges. I will repeat that point which I had covered yesterday. All right. So the registration is still on till 10th of October. That is day after tomorrow. You can still register. Please do so immediately. Right. The first exam also starts on the 10th of October, which means some of you might have booked the slot for the first day or first 2 days or first week, right? And those of you who have done so, your exam is in the coming week. So which is why I have come up with this session today on a Sunday, where I want to talk to you before you go to give your exams, right? So yeah, let's go forward. Scheduling will happen on 12th of October, right? Admit card availability will be on 10th of October. So it will be immediately available after your registration is done. Exam dates are from 10th October to 19th December. We will talk about how many attempts to give and all of those things in the coming few minutes, right? The result announcement will come anywhere between, again, 72 hours of the exam getting over, you will get your results. That is how it is expected to be. So frankly, as a 10th ka exam hai, so it is expected that before 13th or by 13th, you should get the results, or by 14th at max, right? So, and every 3 days, after you give your exam. So that is how it goes on. Yes, we will also talk about scheduling. A couple of people are asking about that, right? So we will do that. In the chat, my team has put up the video for yesterday's session. In case you've missed it, please make sure you go and watch it. It's a very informative one, and I'm going to come with a part 2 next week. So watch the part 1 before you watch the part 2 of the same topic. All right, so before we go ahead, let's look at the top B schools. We'll talk about B schools. We will talk about exam pattern. We'll talk about strategy. We'll talk about number of attempts. We'll talk about scheduling. We'll talk about all of those things. So just hold on, hold your horses, and wait for me. All right. So let's go for it. So what are the different colleges which are associated with NMAT, and which of those should I fill up? Which are the good ones? Which are the important ones? So I've put some information here. right? Please understand that this information, be it the score cutoff is as per the previous years, last year specifically. Okay, the other data of placements, right, is as available commonly on the internet, right? And you might want to verify also before you use it. Take it with a pinch of salt. इसको पत्थर की लकीर, written in stone मान के मत चलना, ये मैंने कल भी बोला था, right? So take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, so let's get into it. So the main college, or the flagship college that NMIMS started with, is NMIMS Mumbai, the Mumbai campus, right? The one which is in Ville Parle, Juhu, right? Juhu West, Ville Parle West. So that is where this college is located. Beautiful location. I think maybe a three-fourth of a kilometer or 1 kilometer down, you will have the Juhu beach. So it's a beautiful place to be in. Of course, it's a financial capital, so no, everything works in the favor of NMIMS. And it is the trust which runs this institute and other institutes like this is called SVKM, Sri Vile Parle Kedavni Mandal, right? So that is a Gujarati institute. So which is why the 3 bar exam dilwao, right? So there's a good amount of money involved. So we have to also decide from our side whether we want to pay that money or not. It's a decision, right? And I will come to that decision also. All right. So having said this, let's go to the second institute, right? The KJ Somaya. KJ Somaya again happens to be a very good institute in the sense that if I consider the top 30, 40 institutes in India, right, KJ Somaya would figure in those top 30 institutes in India, right? It's a good one with a roughly a package of above. So 14 लिखा है, but 15, 16 का average package भी मान के चल सकते हो safely. So mean median you can consider around that, right? So it's a good college. Again, NMIMS Bangalore also of the same stature in Bangalore, right? So NMIMS Bangalore has grown quite well since it opened, probably I think 12 to 15 years back, if I'm not wrong. मुझे मेरी याददाश्त जहाँ तक जाती है, right? So it has grown quite well. Again, a good college to apply for. So these three colleges, these three institutes, and some more, I'll come to those also. These three institutes will either, so depending on what score you are at right now when you give your NMAT mocks or CAT mocks, and you get an idea of where you're standing, right? So if you consider yourself as a high achiever, where sir mera NMIMS ka cutoff score is, I'm beating that score by more than 5-10 marks, right? Very good. Then NMIMS Mumbai becomes your realistic college. For those of you who are around 200 to 10 ka score, right? For you, NMIMS Mumbai may become a realistic one, or it's an aspirational college. Those of you who are even below 200, let's say 180, 190, 170, wherever, NMIMS is a aspirational college, but NMIMS Bangalore could be more achievable for you. So all of these colleges are good colleges, and they will lie in your aspirational realistic backup wherever you are in the range. Okay, so these three institutes are good institutes to fill up for everybody. Now that depends on your aspiration कि आपको भरना है कि नहीं भरना है. Okay, when to fill a form? Please look at the dates, right? The dates are easily available, guys. So please keep an Excel sheet or a notebook where you have mentioned all the colleges that you are interested in and their dates, so that you don't miss out on them. Okay, so these three colleges. Now let's go forward. Let's go a little ahead, right? To the fourth college, IFMR. Now IFMR is a 210 ka cutoff, where NMIMS Mumbai is 235. So roughly speaking, if I equate this to a CAT institute, right, it would be an 80 to 85 percentile ke level ka institute, in the sense of their teaching, the quality, the kind of students which come in, right? So IFMR is in Chennai. It's a very good B school. So a lot of you can take it up as a realistic or a backup institute, right? Fill it up, right? Similar statements can be made about NMIMS Hyderabad, TAPMI Manipal. TAPMI Manipal, definitely like IFMR, is way above in the quality, right? But they haven't marketed themselves as well as probably a Nursing Monji or some other institutes of the same level. So maybe some colleges like IMI Delhi and KJ Somaya and all those. Otherwise, it is probably as much or better. So IFMR hai, TAPI Management Institute, TAPMI, right? All of these colleges are also good options to fill up. Now coming to SDA Bocconi, right? You've heard of Bocconi Institute, which is in Italy. Okay, so the Bocconi ka hi ye, it's a Indian counterpart with which has merged with an Indian university, and formed the SDA Bocconi Institute, right? Asia Center. So again, a good rising institute can be considered for by you, right? NMIMS Indore is the fourth uh, institute in terms of ranking of the Narsi Monji Institute. So Narsi Monji Mumbai, then comes the Bangalore, then Hyderabad, then Indore, and then Navi Mumbai. This is how I would rate it, and this is how also the cutoff tells you कि ये college का ranking कैसे होगा, right? So that is how it is. SRM University. Okay, so till SDA Bocconi, I am absolutely fine if most of you fill up the institutes. उसके नीचे जाना है, in case you are not able to crack good institutes, these are still good institutes, the ones which are in blue or gray, right? I'll talk about ICFI Business School at the end, right? Because it is not one B school, it is multiple B schools. So let me talk about it. Let me give it 2 minutes extra separately. Okay, so I am damn sure that the first till Tapni or SDA Bocconi, a lot of you can safely fill it up. Now coming to Indian School of Business, ISB, right? So ISB, those people with work experience, right? This is not the core course of ISB, but you can fill it up. Okay, it's a good one. School of Petroleum Management that you see is not just petroleum management; it has other fields also, right? Like marketing, finance, the regular MBA core courses. So either way, you could do that, right? That would be around a 70 to 75 percentile institute in CAT if I equate it, right? Now we come to IBS. IBS is ICFI Business School. Now IBS की अगर बात करें हम, right? ICFI Business School, the original main campus which started first long ago, right, which also had a big huge name and it still does, it's a very good college, is IBS Hyderabad, right? But where would I consider IBS Hyderabad in terms of percentile, right? Anywhere between 86 to 93 percentile ke beech mein you can keep it, so very safely around 90, 88, 98 percentile. IBS Hyderabad, because I'll tell you uska average package bhi, if I'm not wrong, is जो लिखा है वो अलग है, but 9-10 lakhs आप safely assume कर सकते हो with a student base of 900 1000 plus students, right? Getting a 10 lakh ka average package, even if I don't consider the ones which are placed, a few of them, hamesha 10% here and there students remain unplaced in B schools, तो 5 to 10%, कोई अच्छा B school नहीं है तो ज्यादा भी हो सकता है. So IBS ka, that's a good capability of getting that 10 lakh ka average, so IBS Hyderabad is one. Then the second rank in IBS institutes can be given to Bangalore and Mumbai, and the very next is Pune and Kolkata, in my opinion. So these are the colleges which are worth going into either as a realistic or backup, depending on again where you stand. If you're sitting at a 98 percentile, you might not want to target it. But if you're sitting at a 90 percentile, you might try to get into IBS Hyderabad as a realistic or backup college, right? So people should plan that. Yeah, IBS Powai is IBS Mumbai, right? The same thing. Okay. Right. So you've got a good idea about the B schools, so you can fill up with this information. Yes, IBS Gurgaon also I can keep it with IBS Pune and Kolkata. All right. So let's look at some other B schools that are there in the list that NMAT has shared. Right, all of these institutes, but these are not the institutes which. These are all the institutes which an 80 percentile student अगर है तो should not consider, but a student below 80 percentile, these are the good colleges to try for. If you are between 70 to 80 or whatever, right, even 82 तक आपका आ रहा है तो backup colleges में you can fill up some colleges out of this, nothing wrong with it, right? But yeah, so you understand what I'm saying. Next, let's go forward. These are some of the institutes which are global institutes affiliated with NMAT and give admission through NMAT. So if in case you want to try, do please check out each of these colleges. I am not saying that I recommend all or any of these colleges, right? CL Career Launcher is just giving you information that these institutes are affiliated with NMAT. They take students through the exam called NMAT. we don't necessarily recommend all these colleges. Okay, so you might want to check at your end and see uh, if you like the B school and you want to apply for it. Go ahead, right? It is your choice. Okay. uh, so NMAT 2023 ka, we understood the college list. Now let's go into the expected pattern and then the strategy of it. Okay. So now we are doing a deep dive into NMAT exam. A similar session I will come out with for SNAP, maybe in a week or two. There are too many sessions that we are doing. So I more than us, you will have to keep up and catch up with all these sessions that are happening. But I'm sure if you attend all these sessions, you will have all the information that you need. Largely. Okay, so let's get into NMAT 2003 expected pattern. So this is the expected pattern is as per the last year's pattern. It may change. Okay, be prepared that it may change. Okay, there is a concern that has been shared that NMIMS, the batch size is too large, right? When you talk about NMIMS or some top colleges, if they are able to manage an average package of 20 plus lakhs or 24 sometimes or 27, whatever they are quoting, हम safely मान ले तो 22 23 is a safe assumption of a mean median salary that NMIMS is able to give, right? Even if you have not considered the some people who dropped out of placements or who couldn't get placed, you know तो भी a 22 23 का average package या 20 का average package with a large number of students is a huge number. I still remember when my eyes got opened way back in 2012-13, more than 10 years back. At that time, one of my students got placed, and he was not a 99 percentile, and he was not he was not he did not have a great 10th 12th graduation score or whatever, but he managed to get a 24.5 ka average average nahi, 24.5 ka package for himself from NMIMS, and that was 11 years back, if I remember right, 10 or 11 years back, right? So you are the best judge of the college, right? Anyway, so see if it works for you. Okay, that's what I would say. मैं सिर्फ आपको information दे रहा हूँ, suggestions दे रहा हूँ. You have to decide what is good for you and not good for you. Please make sure that you take your calls. All right. So I want to come back to the expected pattern now. So language skills, which is VARC, essentially verbal ability and reading comprehension is what we call it in CAT, right? They call it language skills. Analytical and logical reasoning. Now there are two things here. I will explain what they mean by different kinds of reasonings. Okay, reasoning questions. Then quantitative ability is math, the same, right? So the subjects are essentially largely the same, but the content in that subject might differ. So English जिस तरह का पूछा जा रहा है CAT में is different from the English that is being asked from NMAT. However, having said that, 75 to 80% of the course syllabus for verbal and ARLR remains the same. And 90% or 95% or maybe 100% also can be safe to say is same for the quant section. I mean, there's nothing more to do for NMAT in quant, right? There might be something more to do that you need to do for verbal or ARLR. And if you've been attending the workshops that we are having for NMAT, right, at CL, online and offline, right, whatever batch you belong to, right, these topics are being covered, have been covered. If you've missed, please go back and revisit them. But this is happening. Okay, all right. So someone is saying ZAT2, someone is saying Snap. भाई Snap ZAT का special session होगा. ये topic देखो आप, NMAT का session है. We are talking about NMAT today, right? So we students, I consider myself also a part of you because I was also like you. We are boys or girls. It's a common example I'm giving. We are like Bahubali. ठीक है, बाहुबली को क्या होता था, अवंतिका दिखती थी, and when he saw अवंतिका he would start climbing the जल पर्वत. मस्ती करते करते वो चढ़ भी गया जल पर्वत को, है ना, because he was seeing अवंतिका which was not there. Right? So let's focus on NMAT for today, and let's not follow Avantika right now. Right? Let's come back. So these three subjects, we have total 36 questions in each of these subjects. That is 108 questions in all. What is the time limit? So if you see very carefully, very interestingly, yesterday also I pointed this out in my session, that time, sectional timing CAT में भी है, sectional timing NMAT में भी है. But in CAT, you have fixed sectional timings of 40 minutes for each of the sections, and the number of question varies. So verbal may you have 24, DILR may you have 20, and QA may you have 22. So total 66 questions, different number of questions in different subjects, right? Now, you look at NMAT. NMAT में उल्टा है. The number of questions are the same. It has 36 questions in each of the sections, but the time limit, sectional time limit is different. So वो लोग बोल रहे हैं कि verbal में, language skills में, you don't even need half an hour to do 36 questions, right? CAT में अपना उल्टा है. Our learning is such that sir आधे घंटे में तो मैं 2 RC भी नहीं कर पाता हूँ sometimes, right? So that's okay. So language skills is 28 minutes, 36 questions. Analytical and logical reasoning is 40 minutes. So they give you more time for ARLR section, and QA is 52 minutes. Okay. If you look at the difficulty level, it is easy to moderate. Generally, पूरा paper ही easy to moderate है. So अगर हम exams के levels define करें, तो the highest, the most difficult of these exams would be ZAT, not CAT. Some people assume CAT is a difficult exam. CAT is not a difficult exam, but we are not talking about CAT right now. ZAT is the most difficult. Then I would rate CAT. Then I would rate NMAT and SNAP. Okay, so they are slightly easier as compared to CAT. Okay, so अगर हम CAT को बोलेंगे तो एवरेज लेवल मॉडरेट बोलेंगे कि मॉडरेट होता है, राइट? कभी कभी इजी टू मॉडरेट, कभी कभी मॉडरेट टू डिफिकल्ट, उसके बीच में झूलता रहता है. बट NMAT is easy to moderate or moderate at max. Okay, so this is how it is. We also know that the total 3 marks awarded for the correct questions, and there's no negative marking. So the interesting part, now let us derive some things. Okay, so same time of 120 minutes like CAT, but more questions. How many questions more? 44 questions are more in the same time limit. And the time limit is weirdly given to me. Okay, verbal mein 28 only and all that. So basically, this is a speed test. CAT is not a speed test. You understand that. NMAT is a speed test in a way. Okay, it is not as much a speed test as it used to be earlier. There used to be sometimes when 120 questions, 150 questions भी होते थे CAT में, SNAP में, उसके बीच में. So ये बहुत 10-15 साल पहले की बात कर रहा हूँ. But now this is a speed test. Okay. Also, please understand that there's no skipping of questions. You have to attempt all the questions. Why? Because there is no negative marking. If there's no negative marking, why would you not attempt? जय माता दी बी करके मार्क कर दो स्टूडेंट ऑफ द ईयर की तरह, एंड मार्क्स आ जाएंगे, कुछ तो आ जाएंगे, राइट? सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट. Okay, so no skipping of questions is allowed, right? So let's go forward. Now let's talk about the important things to consider. Now ये आपके सारे questions हैं. Okay, so I'm now going to answer all your questions regarding NMAT. Okay, so first of all, you all know that there are 3 attempts, up to 3 attempts that is allowed to you. It is not compulsorily 3 attempts. Please understand that. Up to 3 attempts मतलब आप 1 attempt, 2 attempt या 3 attempt दे सकते हो. Okay, we know this. Let's go forward. Ideally, how many attempts should I take? In my opinion, it has to be 1 attempt. Okay, don't waste your money. You can rather fill 2 more forms with the money that you save from the second attempt. Okay, lekin okay, it is your choice. They're allowing you 3 attempts, you might want to give more. Okay, but I would suggest you give 1 attempt. If you want to take benefit of this, this whole multiple attempt thing, you can take 2 attempts. Please do not go for the third attempt. Not worth it. Agar yeah, I said this yesterday, if you did not get through in the first 2 attempts, you're not going to make it in the third attempt. बहुत कम chances है. I'm not trying to demotivate any of you. If you want to go, please go ahead. If you have a lot of money and you want to put it, please go ahead. Recommendation मैं नहीं दूंगा, ठीक है? So 2 बार आप दे सकते हो, that is your choice. 1 बार तो देना ही है. Everyone should appear. Now, having said this, let's understand one more thing. Gap of 15 days between two attempts is very much important, which means अगर मैं back calculation करूं and I want to give my last one on 10th of December, suppose, right? 15 days before that is CAT. 10th और 11th दिसंबर का 15 डेज बिफोर. इवन आप 5th ऑफ दिसंबर को देना चाहते हो तो भी उसके 15 डेज बिफोर इज 20th नवंबर, right? Which is around cat. I would not suggest you give your attempt around cat. Why? 5 to 7 days before cat you should not take a date. If you've taken a date, please reschedule if you can. Okay, because we do suppose NMAT में कैसा होता है कि वहां समझ में आ जाता है कि I have done good or not done good, and 3 दिन में you get results also. In 3 days, 72 hours, you get the results also. Suppose you give your exam on 20th of November, NMAT, and 23rd of November you get your result, and it comes out to be very bad. Okay, and 26th ko you have cat. Why do you want that hangover to spill into your cat? You don't want that. Cat is your important exam. Slots bhi hone chahiye. You are right. Slots available hai nahi hai. So first of all, you should have been smart, and you should have gone first to pick the available slots. Either way, and Nursing Monji keeps opening slots. So अगर आप कुछ दिन बाद कुछ स्लॉट बंद हो जाते हैं, कुछ और खुलते हैं, that keeps happening. If you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. You can't do anything about it now, right? So fair enough. Anyway, you have 2-3 days remaining in a way, right? So for this registration. Okay, let's go ahead. So gap of 15 days agar aap ginoge. So again, if you want to take it on 5th or 10th December, your second attempt will come right before cat. If you don't want to do that and you want to give it on 15th of November, the second attempt, the first attempt will come on 30th October or 31st October, in a way. So what is the right time to take the first attempt? In my opinion, again, okay, चलो मैं पहले ये खत्म करता हूँ. Let's finish these left side वाले points. The next date only after the first paper has been attempted. The next date can be taken only after the first test is over, first attempt is over. Then you can give the second attempt. Okay. So that is understood. These are the rules that are there. Now let's look at the right side. Okay. What are the right dates? Now this might create a little disturbance in some people, because I'm sure some of you might have taken 10th, 12th, 15th October as a date for the first attempt. It is okay. It is okay. Don't worry. Now, why have I written here ideal dates are 23rd to 10th November? There's a calculation there. There's a logic there. Right? So, for example, and we had long back in our Telegram group to our students, we had put this message, right, that we intend to, what we do every year is, of course, some of us take these mocks, right? We want to understand some of these, we take these exams. So some of us will be taking NMAT so that we understand what the pattern looks like, right, this year. So what we do then is we make some changes to our mocks to suit that new pattern or new type of questions if they come in or whatever. So if you don't, if that 1 week, if you leave, don't take that test in the 1 week, you can, and then 1 more week, you can get the new tests. So 10 to 12 days agar chhod de na, it's a good idea if you can do that. Okay, which is why I suggested 22nd or 23rd October onwards, you can take your NMAT, right? Up to 10th November, even 15th November is okay. 10th to 15th November is okay, right? 15th November ke baad, I don't want it, because I don't want the hangover of NMAT on CAT. Because CAT is a very important exam if you're appearing for it. So this is how the logic of dates is. Now you can plan your dates accordingly. Okay. If you already planned, don't worry about it. Once you've taken the decision, just make that decision right. Okay. Sometimes decision sahi ya galat nahi hota lene se pehle. Sometimes decision you have to make it right when you've taken it. So that is also fair enough. Okay. So I already mentioned this, I guess, that NMIMS Mumbai is not going to take the second or third attempt. NMIMS Mumbai will only consider your first attempt. Other colleges will consider your second or third, best of the 3 attempts. Okay. Someone is also asking a very relevant question, that can we also take NMAT after CAT? Yes, your first attempt of NMAT can be taken after CAT, no doubt about it. That is fair. Okay, but then you will not have a chance. If in case you want to take a second attempt, you won't have a chance to do that. Okay, so it's just safe to take it in the first half of November, which is what I've suggested, or end of October, so that you have a chance of taking a second one if you want to. right? Fair enough. Okay, good. Uh, so let's go ahead with the right side of things. Choose the order of sections. First you have, so the right way to go about it is कि आपको कौन सा section first उठाना है, language skills or quant or LRDI, ARLR. You decide what is the section you want to pick up, because once you've chosen, you cannot change it. Okay, please ensure this. Okay, guys, stop discussing dates right now and focus on what I'm saying. So once you select a section, because now I'm talking strategy, I'm coming to the discussion on the exam strategy. So once you've chosen the order of the question, please make sure that you do it right, because you can't do it again. A section once closed, once you've given a section, you're done with the time limit, you've closed the section, you cannot review it again. Okay, this is again as per last year. The candidate must attempt all the questions of each section in the allotted sectional time. We know this, there's a sectional time there. Okay, in case of no show, so no show means the student does not come, does not appear during the exam, or in case of a student who is not agreed to the NDA, non disclosure agreement को approve नहीं किया है, right? अगर वो नहीं किया, there's an NDA which they will ask. NDA is more to do with don't discuss, don't disclose questions, and so on and so forth, right? Or if your exam is not marked complete, it is marked incomplete, either of these things happens with you, don't get hassled, don't worry. You can schedule the retake attempt immediately after 24 hours for any slot you want. Okay, so this is doable. I hope this is clear. All these important things you've noted down, I assume, right? Okay. So now, coming to that question of when should we appear for mocks, मैंने एक थोड़ा सा छोटा सा चीज लिखा हुआ है. I'll just go through it. I have explained to you essentially. So when should we start appearing for mocks? Mock NMAT. Okay, you might be writing mock cats already. You should be, right? You should have already started mock NMATs also. If you've not started, you are making a mistake. Some students think कि syllabus complete होगा उसके बाद करेंगे. That is a very bad idea. That is not a smart thing to do, because preparation is a separate entity or a separate process, and mocks and learning from mocks and making strategies and experimenting things and analyzing mocks, all of this is a separate learning altogether, right? These two parallel things should be going on in your life, right? If you're not doing this parallel, if one of this is missing, you are not doing it right. I don't want to use extreme statements here, because we are all hopeful and we will all do it. But yeah, please make sure you are appearing for mocks. So start appearing for mocks ASAP if you're not doing it. Okay. For the CL students, you have 10 NMAT mocks already, right? For the first attempt, the students who are going to give first only one attempt. If you're going to give only one attempt, you should try to do all 10, before that NMAT. At least you should have done 6 to 7 mocks before your attempt, at least for NMAT, not less than 6 to 7 mocks. Okay. Okay. How do you plan these mocks? So what I say is, the day you have taken, let's assume, for example, I have taken 1st November as my date for my first attempt of NMAT. Okay. So 1st November ke 3 days or 4 days before, 3 days before, you plan your last mock. So assume that I'm going to give 8 mocks. So mock NMAT 8, I will appear on 27th or 28th of October. And uske pehle, every week you have to appear for 2 mocks at the least, 3 at max, 2 at least, and this is how you should give your 8 mocks. You might already have taken 4-5 mocks, some of you, right? Some of you might already have taken too many mocks, right? If you're going to give your second attempt, save 2-3 mocks, not more. 2-3 mocks is good enough for the second attempt, right? Your first attempt, make it your main attempt. Okay, and hence 6 to 7 mocks before the first attempt. Okay, for those who are appearing for the second attempt, schedule at max 3 mocks at max between the first and the second attempt. For the third attempt, you don't need mocks in case you're appearing. I'm not even suggesting, not recommending it. All right, great. So this is understood. Now let's go forward. Where am I? So now we are going to talk about mock and exam strategies. Okay, so what strategies we should apply in mock, learn from it, and then apply in our actual exam, NMAT exam. So what are those strategies we are talking about? So these strategies are, remember there is a time limit. So first of all, solve fast. Keep that time in mind. See, if there are, for example, questions in verbal and 28 minutes to go, I know that if I don't look at the 36th question and 35th question, and if they're very easy, that's stupid for me to do. Okay, so I should, let's say I spent my 28 minutes doing the first 20 questions. The next 16 questions I just mark, tuck 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 tuck, b mark, or ABCD, whatever I marked. That's not a very smart thing to do, because the 16 questions that I did not see might have been easy, and I could have got some positive marks from there. And that is where the differentiation happens. So you have to go fast and you have to select. So look at first question. You want to do it. There's no, so in CAT we do round 1, round 2, round 3 and all that. Don't do round 1, round 2, round 3. Look at the first question. Am I spending time behind this? No. Then mark something, go ahead. Of course, if you have time remaining at the end of 36th question, you can always come back. But at that time, just mark and go ahead. ये मत सोचना कि I'll come back and mark later, because then you'll not have time, because the time limit is very short. Okay, so solve fast. That's the first point. The second point, questions are relatively easier as compared to a ZAT or a CAT, right? Overall level of questions is easy. So solving fast is also possible. So first of all, you have to decide that it is possible. Okay, and then implement this in your mocks. Try it out in 2-3 mocks. If you don't have time, try it in one mock. If you're giving it in the first week, right? So these are the first 2 points in terms of strategy. The third point takes care of all of the strategy completely. It's a sweep and conquer strategy. What is a sweep and conquer strategy? As I told you, first question, aaya, nahi aaya, mark it A. So go to the second one. Nahi aaya, don't worry, don't panic. Don't worry if you don't get 10 questions. You mark and go ahead and do the 11th one. Okay, sweep and conquer. So go fast. And when you reach the 36th question and you realize that, okay, I had only 28 minutes in verbal, I reached the 36th question in my 23rd minute. I still have 5 minutes. I should have written down which question I want to go back to and solve it. But मैं mark तो करके आया हूँ उसको. Right? In case by fluke also it gets right, I will get the marks. There's no negative marking anyway. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to understand the strategy that I'm talking about. And finally, the last one, but the most important one, believe it. Believe that you can do it and you will crack it. Interestingly, what you must, your trying time is now. So whether you're taking your NMAT on 10th of October or 10th of November or 10th of December, whatever the date is, NMAT CAT और SNAP के बीच में, SNAP बाद में आएगा, but NMAT CAT में you keep toggling. So today you will be giving CAT mocks. Day after tomorrow you will have to appear for NMAT mocks, and 2 days down you'll be appearing for CAT mock again. So you have to, in your mind, you have to learn to switch the strategies, because your strategy for CAT is different and your strategy for NMAT is different. There will come a time when you will be most probably swapping between CAT, NMAT, and SNAP strategies. And you will have to have a switch in your mind. You just turn on and turn off. कि चल अभी NMAT है तो NMAT के हिसाब से सोचते हैं, CAT है तो CAT के हिसाब से सोचते हैं. Selection is different. I have time. Okay, so yeah, so I hope this is pretty clear to you guys. Okay, so some of you are telling me to go back to show you the slide page which I've already visited, right? Like Subhashini and all. Guys, this is a YouTube live. After the live is over, this video will stay on the same link. So you can go back and watch the video and go to the slide that you want to refer again. Okay, so don't worry. You can revisit this video anytime you want. All right, let's go forward. Now let's talk about the syllabus and what you have with you in terms of material. Okay, so first of all, vocab-based questions, synonyms, similar words, same meaning. Antonyms, opposite words. Analogies means if A is to B, then C is to what, sort of questions. Comparison, where you use vocabulary and logic both. Fill in the blanks is where you use you have usage of words. So synonym, antonym is not usage, it is the knowledge of words. You might or might not have knowledge of words, but fill in the blank and close test is more about the usage of words. So you have to understand that they are checking both the things. If you don't get marks for the knowledge of words, you can still go with the usage of words. So you can do that. Okay, and idioms, right? Idioms and grammar mein phrasal verbs, these are the two things you have to learn, right? You have to learn, and you have to learn to use them. Okay, that's what you need to do. Okay, grammar may you have identified the errors, choose the correct preposition, sentence correction, tenses, parts of speech, and phrasal verb based questions. Comprehension may, so our cat wala stuff, reading comprehension, critical reasoning, jumbled sentences, para jumbles, odd one out, para summary, maybe para completion this year, you never know, because cat introduced it last year, so maybe. So all of these things can be a part of your NMAT syllabus. So NMAT is like all over the place, right? Hence everything. So you have enough and more material to prepare from. So a lot of students keep asking me, sir, कहाँ से prepare करूँ? मैंने दे दिया यहाँ पे. If you are a CL student, of course, right? You have Funda book where you have these topics. Some things are in sheets, that class sheets that you study, and some of these things are in terms of practice in topic tests. You have it in ASPE, your ASPE, the student portal, right? So you have all of these things there. Please go and check. Okay. Going forward, again, for language skills, grammar, these are the things you have it in Funda book, sheets, and ASPE. I'm just quickly taking you through it. Comprehension based questions are also there in all the three places, right? Now we come to logical reasoning. Now, logical reasoning and analytical reasoning we divide into two parts. So everything is logic, but there's one thing which is called analytical. You use your analytical skills, analytical reasoning skills, and there's something called verbal reasoning in terms of critical reasoning or statement and assumptions or statement and inference or whatever. Again, all of these things you have studied either as a part of CAT or as a part of your special NMAT topics, right? Okay, just a sec. Okay, so where was I? I'm so sorry, I got distracted by some of the chats. I shouldn't do that. Okay, so this is a topic. Where do I find them? You can find it here, right? So you have everything with you some way or the other, right? Let's go to the NMAT part. Sorry, the quant part of NMAT. So these are the topics: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, mensuration, modern math, and data interpretation. More or less, so DI is a part of quant here, and more or less it is everything that we studied in CAT, and all of that is there in your material, right? So now you know what to prepare from and where. Okay, so with this I have sort of answered a lot of your questions which were in your mind, I'm sure, right? And we are doing a good time because I did not want to pull this very long so that you don't get bored. But I have one or two points that I want to talk about. And so one interesting question कि सर क्या NMAT में ज्योमेट्री आता है नहीं आता, doesn't matter. There's no defined syllabus for any of these things, guys. It is only experiential. Please understand, whatever syllabus is defined by us or anyone else is all by experience of the previous years. Especially in the last 3 years, mein kya ho raha hai is what we take as a importance, right, of that topic. But anything which has been there for the last 20 years, right, we should consider it as a part of the course, the syllabus. So basically, there's no defined syllabus by anyone, especially by Nursing Monji or NMAT or GMAC or whoever, right? Okay, so let's come to the B School Profilizer. I talked about this yesterday briefly. I'll talk about it today also very briefly, because this is something that you must go and check on the Career Launcher website. CL students might have seen this already. If not, CL students, this is there in your ASPE also. It is on the website also, right? So please go and check. You can put your profile. For example, I've put a profile of one of my students, right? And this is what it has given me. So what has it given me? Let's quickly check. Okay, it's a female of general category with 95% in 10th, 88% in 12th, BTech Kabi, BTech engineer student with 87% marks and 46 months of experience. So I think except being a general category, everything else is in her favor, right? So okay, good. So she's done her profile. She's kept a profile strong in terms of 10th, 12th also and everything else. So you look at the IIMA, you can see it's a dark blue. Dark blue is nothing but strong match. Look at the legend on the right. So what you see as a percentile, you see that it's somewhere around 98.8 percentile to get into an IIM Ahmedabad. And IMC also would be somewhere around 98.6 percentile, right? FMS would be 99 percentile for her. right? Maybe there's another person who does not have a good 10th or a 12th or a graduation, or is a male or whatever, for that kind of a person, he might not even get an IIM Ahmedabad at a 99.8%, for example. So this profilizer gives you, as per your profile, what is a percentile that will help you. This is more to do with cat percentile, and cat percentile से आपको idea भी आएगा कि इसके हिसाब से NMAT या ZAT, how does it pan out, so yeah, so this is something that there's an exercise that you should do. And in the chat you can see there's a link that has been shared with you. Two links shared with you today. Yesterday session का link भी है chat में, and the school profilizer का link भी है in the chat, so you can take benefit of that, right? Even though you're not a CL student, you can still benefit from this. And use the CL resources which are at your in your student portal, that is aspiration.ai, right? Make sure you do that for all your exams. This is what is there in case you don't know. Even the students of CL who might not know, all of these resources are there in your student portal, right? And you must use it well. The good amount of analysis is given to you for your mocks. No one else gives you as much in terms of analysis, and you should definitely go through it. Be it the booster analysis or the drill down analysis, no one else is doing that. So please make use of it for your benefit, and it will surely help you increase your score and percentile. Yeah. With this, I've come to the end of my session, guys. Making a good time with 46 minutes into the session. These are the two QR codes. The students who are in MBA 2023, please look at the left QR code, and the ones who are in 2024, look at the one on the right. You can scan this, you can take a print screen, you can do whatever you want to and join this group, because such information, like information about this session or information about the forms coming out or whatever, we will keep doing in that group. So make sure you, CL or non-CL students, you are part of aspirants, you are a part of this group. Make sure. Yeah. Okay, with this, I want to thank you all. Wish you all the best for your MBA exam journey, especially for NMAT today, right? And in case you want to reach out to me, please, here is my email ID. Please reach out to me, right? I wish you all the best again. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. And with this, I'm signing out. Thank you. Good night.